I'm Sam. I own a bakery company, Chimpanda Bakes. I do various things such as bespoke cakes for any celebration, cupcakes, treat boxes, any sort of sweet treats that people want really. And I make them bespoke to what people want. I never tend to do the same thing twice if I can help it. I've kind of been baking for years. I've always done it from when I was a child really, but over the last couple of years I've tried to establish myself just with friends, family, those sort of things. I've done a few sort of cake classes to build my skills, and then I've kind of over the last year made it a little bit more formal and then launched my actual business this year really, and just took the plunge and went for it. I think it's just doing it bit by bit. I think if I'd have done it all in one go, I think I've gradually building it up and just sort of building my stock and my equipment and learning new skills and things like that. Just gradually doing it and then just doing small things gradually, and then I can obviously work towards the bigger stuff. But just funding it myself, or gifts that people buy me, equipment for birthdays and all that sort of stuff, and just invested a little bit of money in myself to buy my larger equipment and my marketing stuff, such as my labels, my logo, all that sort of stuff. My logo and stuff like that I drew myself. The name I thought of myself, how I wanted the business to look and the sort of marketing things. I have a lot of friends who do marketing or work and things like that have helped me out. Just using the people that I've got around me to sort of learn new stuff and do it myself as best I can really. If I've got a particular order that someone wants, then someone obviously will message me and say, can you do this for my daughter's birthday or what have you, and I'll just ask them to send me over some ideas of what they like, what they've seen. I've got an Instagram page or a Facebook page, got business cards, so I get family, friends to sort of recommendations and put my business cards wherever I can really. Message me on Facebook or Instagram, and then I'll obviously get back to you as soon as I can, and we'll have a discussion about things like what designs you wanted, what order you're after, and I'll try to steer people to where I think it should be if it's unrealistic or if I've got other ideas, and just have that conversation before the order's placed. I did a Paddington Bear one recently, so I got them to send me some ideas of what they'd seen on Facebook or on Google or whatever, and then kind of just create mood boards myself to figure out what they like, what colours they want, what names they want on it and that sort of stuff, and then just sort of faff around with little bits and bobs, different colours. Then obviously plan what I need to do. So obviously if I've got a deadline, then I'll plan when I need to bake the cakes, when they need to be iced, when the decorations need to be done, and I think it's about being organised, and I am a bit OCD with organisation, so I think as long as I've got that plan and that timeline, that's kind of how I create my creativity. And if I wasn't organised, it'd be chaotic and my ideas would never come to light, I think. Gradually I'd like to expand it, and it would probably not necessarily become my full-time job, although never say never, but I think it would be gradually, as I start a family potentially, I'll look to reduce my work and obviously want to be at home more, so then maybe look to expand that slightly and maybe look to do it as a part-time sort of venture as and when I can sort of fit it around my personal life at the moment. But eventually, it may become my full-time job, and that's how I want to build it up. I think it's about just researching what other people do that are similar to you in the area, speaking to them, asking them how they took the plunge, what they did to build their business, speaking to professionals about the account side of things, how you can become self-employed, taking training courses, all that sort of stuff. And for me, because it's food hygiene, I've obviously had to speak to the council about what sort of training I needed, what sort of certification I needed. I think it's just gain as much information as you possibly can from people around you, and don't be afraid to ask other professionals for that bit of support, because I've found a lot of people do like to help you out, even though you are their competition. They're obviously probably a lot more established than you, and I think it's just asking. Don't be afraid to ask and just then go for it. There's always going to be that moment where you talk yourself out of it, and I've had that over the years. I've wanted to launch the business many years ago and gone, nope, can't do it at the minute. But I think there's never going to be a good time. There's always going to be something something in your family or something else you're planning or work, and I think it's just about starting it up and making that plunge and just slowly doing it, rather than going, right, that's it, I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to do it all in one go. I think if anyone wants to do it as a full-time job, they need to gradually build into it, and I think just taking them small steps and then deciding where it goes.